What's going on, Legion? Azrael here, like always. We got something kind of simple. This is a very short, about 60 seconds or so. This is an Ant-Man kind of like slideshow that these people put together to kind of mark the new show coming out. So let's just get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. Let's hope it's good. So Ant-Man and the Wasp. Marked production, upcoming sequel to Ant-Man. They are in the Wasp. Marvel Studios has released a video from the set featuring the stars, personalized character, and a brand new logo for the film. Ant-Man and the Wasp stars Paul Rudd, Lilly, Michael, Jesus Christ, award-winning Michael Douglas, who reprises the role as the original from the... Holy God! Some bitch just somewhere. Judy Career, Abby Rutherford, oh my God, T.I., Harrison, and David. A bunch of people I don't care. Reprise their supporting roles. High anticipated follow-up welcomes Academy Award nominees Michelle Pfeiffer and Lawrence Fishburne, along with Hannah Jo something or other, Walter. Oh my God, a bunch of other people I could give a crap about. Michelle Pfeiffer, hot back in the day. Well, that's the end of that. Wow, that was a lot of me stumbling over words and trying to read. So the Lilly girl, the girl that's playing Wasp, if her name looked familiar, or that little animated picture we saw, the little drawing, it seemed like, looked familiar. In the Hobbit movie, with Orlando Bloom's character as Legolas, there was the she-elf, the orcs called her. That's who she is. And that's who's playing the Wasp. 37, doesn't look it. Very gorgeous woman. But that's who that is, the girl from the Hobbit movies. I hated Ant-Man 1. I should say this. I thought the movie was hilarious when I saw it, but when I think about that movie and the fact that it's Paul Rudd, I hate that movie. I don't know if it's out of principle or what, but like the movie was funny for the first time, but it's an origin kind of starter. And I'm a big believer of hating origin movies. If it's something I don't know about, say I was not a fan of Marvel or Star Wars or DC or anything else, and they were making a movie, like I wasn't alive, I don't think. No, I wasn't. I was not alive when the first Blade Runner movie came out. Right? It came out in like 82, I believe. And the second one's coming out. Now, I think I've seen parts of it, and I actually went back, got the movie, watched it, and did kind of like my own thing and saying, what was this all about? The new one looked great. When they did the remake of Total Recall, or which I've already seen the original, but I watched the original again, and then went back and watched the new one with Kate Beckinsale. Or Judge Dredd, I saw that, but when that came out with a remake, a reboot, or whatever that was, I went back and watched the original. I'm a firm believer of non-origin movies. They're always bad. And I think that's because Marvel has done them horribly. Except for the Iron Man movie, the first one. That's it. Captain America 1, garbage movie. Thor 1, garbage movie. Ant-Man 1, it's newer. It's because they got like 6 films under their belt. It wasn't so bad, but it's still a garbage movie. All origins, Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was actually better than the sequel. Might as well have been the prequel. It was garbage. But I don't know. I'm just not a fan of, hey, let's do an origin so everybody can get caught up. I don't care about everybody else. I don't care about them not knowing. If they cared enough, they would look it up. They go to Marvel database or something, and they would read about the characters themselves. At the very least. And I'm happy with knowing that. I'm happy with the Marvel database to look up Ant-Man. Hell, I've watched the animated movies they had. The Avengers Assemble, I believe is what they were called. Or Avengers something. Which had Ant-Man and the Wasp in it. And then there was the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon that came out that had Ant-Man kind of went crazy, so he turned into freaking Yellow Jacket. And right there, all the information you need. No comic books required, people. And yet we have origin movies. And the movies don't even depict what the real characters are about. They're just their own garbage that these stupid directors and writers came up with. And I'm not a fan of that because look at the Flash TV show. We'll hop over to DC for a second. Look at the Flash TV show. Everybody goes, we want to make something fresh and new. Motherfucker, we don't want fresh and new. We want the awesomeness that is the writing of the comics in animated form. We don't want your bad idea taking up our time. And this is just me. I personally like the writing that goes in the comics, and I would love to see an adaptation of the comics. Not some secondhand writer that's never written for DC or Marvel or whoever doing their own versions. I don't want that. And specifically in a movie, they get the movies wrong so many times. I'm predicting that Black Panther is going to be an incredible movie. Ant-Man 2, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty funny and one to actually go back and rewatch. The Avengers movies don't hold up. They were good. The first one was good the first 4 times I watched it. Ultron was not the greatest, but it was entertaining as an action version. Iron Man 3 was bad, in my opinion, just for me, because they had to round everything up real fast. There's just a lot of crap that Marvel's put out, wrapped in huge hype. Infinity Wars, I'll be super disappointed if the Infinity Wars, Avengers 3, sucks. Spider-Man Homecoming, great movie, but when you go back and watch it a second time, you're like, man, it's too much of an origin. It is. It's too much of high school garbage, which the high school garbage was very cringy for me because I'm like, oh, I don't want to remember high school at all. That's just for me, though. I don't want to remember high school. I had a great high school experience. I just don't want to remember it. But there was just too much high school. And it was more believable because Tom, whatever his name is, he is a lot younger and a lot shorter than Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were. So when they did high school, it was bullshit. They were 30-year-olds doing high school, where Tom, or whatever his name is 20, exactly. So it was more believable, which made me feel like we were in like a Twilight setting where it's like, this is too high school, I can't stand it. But everything else was good, but I went back and watched it for a second time, and it was very origin-based, and it was not good to watch it a second time. So there's all these just movies coming out that are just origin-based that I'm not a fan of. And Ant-Man being one of the funniest ones for an origin, which made it so that's what carried it. I can only imagine what the second one's going to be. We're going to have Wasp in here, and as long as we don't get some kind of domestic abuse garbage that they usually go through, some arguing, I'm hoping that this is just a good movie, and yeah, man, I'm hoping that it just works out. I really am. I'm hoping that it's just, we get to see some characters, some villains that they don't have to be explained. We know who they are. If you don't, look it up when you get home. And we get some kind of crazy, like, shit's going down, Ant-Man's the one to solve it, and not some petty crime bullshit. And I hope the Wasp and the Ant-Man situation is just an awesome dynamic. I hope it's good. Paul Rudd's funny in a way, but I hate him. The fact that he was in a Halloween movie just ruins everything. 8-minute video. I had a lot to hate on, a lot of negativity, but overall I'm still a Marvel fan, and I enjoy, I think, the majority of the movies that Marvel puts out. Yeah, and I'm only interested to see how they continue. Everything was supposed to end after the Infinity Wars, but rumor has it that Spider-Man's the next arc of the MCU. So let's just see and hope that the next chapter is all aces and not just a hit and a miss. Because I gotta tell you, Guardians 2 was... I mean, I went back and watched it for a second time. Better the second time. First time was pretty bad because it was just the overall plot. A big animated 70-looking colored schemed brain in the middle of a planet. Sometimes, man. Either way, I'm going to get out of here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Once again, my name is Azrael. I'll see you in whatever video I'm doing next. Later, guys.